kind of like, she went for me, like I said. You can see, she went for me, and I was just like, I have a right to defend myself. Not only did you make the gesture to try and hit me in the head, but you physically put hands on me. And my mother got in between us. And it's really hard to describe. Like, I had a grip on my sister's hair with this hand, because my sister got back up. So I had a grip on her with this hand, and my mother was kind of in front of this arm. It's really hard for me to explain. And my sister, I was like going for her, knocking her around, and rightly so. That's why I don't feel bad about it, because I don't discriminate, and I was well within my rights to do that. So my mother's here, and my mother's trying to stop us, and somehow we all fall down. And I think before we fell, I think that's when she clocked me good in the eye. Bitch. She clocked me good in the eye, and we fell down again. And the I had like a blue box that I was basically using for storage, like a big box, plastic box. We fell on that, it shredded into a million gazillion pieces. And somewhere along the line, like I said, I started punching. I don't remember this. I hold my hands up to it. That I blacked out. I don't remember. But there was eyewitnesses there. And I just remember not letting go when I had a grip. Because I get that mad at times. And I was just so shocked by the fact that, she stood over me and she made the movement like she was going to strike me like that. So not only did she twist it from its plastic side to its metal side and rise it above her head, she also made the gesture like that, like she was going to hit me with it. So I had a right to defend myself. And obviously when I stood up, she hit me first because I caught a black eye. Literally caught a black eye. So I had a right to defend myself. So, and I got her on the floor, and my mother was in the middle. She like fell on top of us. But as we fell onto the box, my mother fell on this arm. So like we've gone down like this, and my arm's on the floor. My mother is laid on my arm, and my sister has also landed on my wrist. It was a very, very small space. I wish I could show you, but it's literally right there, but I have the camera set up to where I can't move it. But it's a tiny, tiny, tiny space. And I just held that grip, and I started hitting. I started to punch. I held my hands up. I shouldn't have done that, but then again, of course, she was pushing and pushing and pushing, and everybody, including the police, eyewitnesses, everybody you can think of, the lady on the phone that initially heard everything, they all said, Michael, you shouldn't feel bad about it because you was well within your rights. You have a right to defend yourself. And I took that right, because at the end of the day, I'm not no pussy. I'm not about to sit there and let you hit me in the head with a weapon. And we started fighting. We carried on fighting. It was only like a quick 10-second fight. And my stepdad come upstairs, and he run up, and he literally had me up in the air. And she got me so mad to where I didn't want to let go. So I'm literally being pulled up in the air at this point, and I'm not hitting at this point. I'm being pulled up into the air, and I'm not trying to let go. I hold my hands up. I'm not trying to let go. I'm that type of person. When I snap, I snap. That's why I'm trying to get back into therapy. I'm trying anger management and just ways to calm my ass the fuck down, basically. Because that reaction scared me. And I've said that since it happened. That is not me. That's not who I am. And that reaction, me reacting like that, scared the living daylights out of me, because I didn't remember barely anything. The information I'm giving you is from eyewitnesses who saw it. So it's how it happened. And then we was on the floor, and like I said, I was being picked up in the air like that. I was literally up in the air, and I didn't let go until I heard that shit rip. I'm gonna just say it like that. If you've got her and I can, like, if we're fighting and you've got her and I can grab your hair, like bitches do with me all the time, because literally I'm not proud of it, but I have that kind of personality where I'm very blunt. So in the past I've had a lot of situations that have gone left, and when it's come to squaring up, people grab my hair all the time. But people don't realise when you grab my hair, this is fake. This is fake. You know what I mean? It's fake. None of it's real. So it's funny to me. Well, today it is real because I have my real hair and some extensions in. But point is, it's extensions. It's pointless pulling my hair because I wear weave. You know what I mean? I wear extensions. I wear fusions. I wear clip-ins. I wear tracks. You name it. I wear it. So it's pointless pulling my hair because I can just clip it back in. But when I pulled her hair, it was more of a lesson. Like when I wouldn't let go, it was more of a lesson of like, okay, when I pull your hair, you gotta grow that shit back. And you know what I mean? Like I said, I had a good grip and I really struggle with my temper. So I didn't want to let go. So I had to be ripped, basically. She had to be, how can I say, she had to be scalped in order for me to get off her because there was no way I was going to let go. And she jumps up and she's all red in the face and she did piss herself, literally. She did piss herself and she was red in the face and she was crying and she come up and she was like, I'm phoning the police. You assaulted me. And I said, phone the police. The lady on the phone, in case you didn't know, your phone calls to the police are recorded. And I was basically like, phone the lady then. Because I told the lady I recall that perfectly. It's just when I stood up after I'd had enough of your bullshit, and when I seen that gesture of you moving that plug closer to me, and as soon as I stood up, you hit me because I hit you back. Like, you literally gave me a black eye from where you hit me. So you not only like went like that, the gesture with the plug to try and hit me, you actually did put hands on me first. So, and she's like, I'm going to get you done. You're going to be charged and arrested. I'm going to get you done. I've got proof. I've got marks. She was assaulted me. I said, girl, I've got marks. I have scratches, cuts on my hands. Girl, I have a swollen finger from where you landed on it, my wrist. My arm from where you landed on it. Like, come on, and my wrist. Seriously? Seriously? The scratches on my legs. Do we want to talk about them? The skin on my foot, I would show you, but it's probably a little bit too graphic for YouTube. But the skin on my foot that is no longer there. The black eye. Not only that, there's literally proof. Phone call of me saying to the lady on the phone, just so you know, she stood over me with the plug. She's just switched it from its plastic side to its metal side with the 3 metal legs on it. That's 2 fingers, not 3. My bad. With the 3 metal legs on it. And she's rose it above her head and she's telling me to get the fuck off the phone. And if I don't get off the phone, she's going to bash me in the head with it. And at this point, she's already risen it above her head when I'm telling the lady, listen, this is my right to defend myself. So I'm not waiting for this bitch to hit me. We ain't doing that. I ain't about to sit there and let somebody hit me in the fucking head with a metal plug before I react. Hell no. Bitch, you might be twice my size, but I'm still gonna run you down. And that's a promise. And that was a promise that was fulfilled. I fulfilled that promise. I wasn't about to sit there and let somebody bash me in the head. Just think about how serious that is. Let somebody bash you in the head with the metal side of a plug. And this person that's after bashing you in the head weighs almost twice the size of you. Would you, just answer that question for me. Would you sit there and let somebody bash you in the head with a weapon? And like I said, I don't discriminate. Don't start nothing. You could be a man, a woman, an old person, a young person. Don't start no shit with me. And definitely, most definitely, don't get up in my face and start doing all this and acting like you're going to do something to me, because I'm going to defend myself, and rightly so. And I think she wasn't expecting the reaction. Of course she wasn't expecting that kind of reaction because she hasn't seen me like that. She hasn't seen me like that, so of course she didn't see it coming. But you've got to understand, you can't come up in people's faces with weapons in your hand and tell them, get the fuck off the phone or I'm going to bash that phone out your hand, and the phone is in my hand like this. You know, anyone with a brain would think, okay, she's about to hit him in the head, because the phone was like that in my hand. So you got what I gave you. You can't sit. My whole point in that was, you can't sit there and act like a victim after you provoked an entire fight. Because 30 seconds before we was scrapping and I felt the need to defend myself, she was all up in my face with a plug, acting like she was really going to do something. And I waited until she got right up close to my nose. Not only that, because if it was a bitch on the street, they would have been popped already in the face. Because, baby, the number one rule is, don't get this arm's distance. Don't be doing that. Don't cross that. There's a boundary. Don't cross it. And if you want to, like I said, I don't start nothing. But if you want it, come on. And that is where I would normally pop somebody. But because she was family, I let it go. Because I was like, I know she can't fight. I know she can't fight, and I really don't want to do this. I don't want to have to physically defend myself. But if you keep pushing me and pushing me and pushing me, i.e. you are stood over me like this, and I'm looking at you, and you have a plug in your hand. Not only that, when I get up, before I even first put hands on you, you put hands on me. You touched me first. Not only that, you was provoking an entire fight that did not need to happen. You didn't have to do that. Nobody told you to come up the stairs with a plug in your hand and get up in my face. You're trying to intimidate me. Intimidation does not work on me. You're trying to get a rise out of me. You are provoking me. You will not leave me alone. You brung yourself downstairs to my room and then into my room and right up in my face. So you're pushing and 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 you're pushing. Eventually, anybody in that predicament and that situation is going to lose the shit. And that's what I did. And that's why I blacked out. But let's not get it twisted. I defended myself. And what I'm pissed off about is the fact that she has gone round and told people a totally different story. So let me answer some of the things that's going around. Number one, I did not attack my mother, and I would never do that. I did not do that. I did not. Let me tell you what really fucking happened, because that's got that shit right there. You tried, but it ain't working. So let me clear it up. My mother caught a black eye because my mother got in the middle of it to protect you. That's why my mother was in the middle of it, covering my sister's face up. Like I said, there was one arm that I had that was free, and it was this arm. This other arm, you was sat on it because you'd fallen on it, and Mum was lied over it. So I couldn't move this hand if I wanted to. That's why I kept the grip. When I realised I had a good grip, I kept that grip. And I was bashing you with the other hand. I opened, fully open, and I admit that. With self-defence. So Mum caught that black eye because Mum got in the middle of it, trying to protect your dumbass, but because you think you're some kind of tough girl, you really do, and you think that because you're a big girl, you can throw your weight around and start intimidating people. You're going to get that reaction that you got from me a lot more if you keep going on the way that you go on with people, because people don't stand for that. They just don't. And you think that because you threaten people with the police, they won't touch you. And you think that because you threaten people with the police and you sit there and provoke them like you did me, they're not going to get up and defend themselves. And for somebody that goes around and you say that you're so smart and so calculating, remember, you go around and you tell people that you're so smart and you're calculating and you can get away with anything. Remember? Exactly. So if you were big, my whole thing is, if you were big enough to get up in my face that day, and like I said, I stay minding my business. I don't bother nobody. I am genuinely a sweetheart, a cool ass person. Don't start nothing, there won't be nothing. I'm very monotone, very zen, very chill. I mind my business. I don't start nothing. but you are not. And I repeat, I don't give a fuck if you are a man or a woman. You are not about to come at me with a weapon in your hands. Physically put yourself up in my face to the point where we're nose to nose. And then when I stand up, you don't know what I was going to do when I stood up. I could have been trying to walk away, but you touched me first, so you would have never known because you touched me first. I have the friggin' black eye to prove it. And that's when I dropped your ass on the floor. Because I've been telling you, stop provoking me. I've been telling you since you came home from prison, stop provoking me. And it's been a build-up. That's what it's been, a build-up, because you won't let me, it's like you won't let me have, I don't know, you just won't stop fucking with me. You won't stop pushing me. And it got to the point where I held it in and I held it in. And when I reacted, this is the difference between me and you. You talk a lot of shit to people, and when people get up to square up, you run off and you don't want to. And it's all of a sudden it's too hot in the kitchen. But I'm the kind of person, I don't stay talking shit. And if I'm talking shit, it's because I want to take it though. You know what I mean? But I would never sit there like you. Oh, I didn't want to do this video. I really fucking didn't. But oh my God, you act like you're so tough. And then when it comes down to it, you don't want no smoke with people, but you sit there and you steady for months and months and months and months and months and months and months. Push them and provoke them. You've said some horrible, fucking horrible things to me. Like really, truly fucking horrible things to me. And I'm not about to start repeating all that because like I said, I really fucking didn't want to make this video, but you keep going around to people and giving them stories that is not true. You haven't told anybody that you were stood over me with a plug in your hand. You didn't tell anybody that you made that movement as though you were trying to hit me in the head. And you're trying to cover that up by saying, I went to hit the phone out of his hand, but my phone was here, like this, as I was talking to the police lady on the phone. So if you're going to bash the phone out of my hands like you're saying, of course I'm going to think, because I've got a brain, you're going to bash me in the head any second. No, I ain't finna sit there and let you hit me with nothing. You've already broken too many of my rules, and I know that I'm well within my right at this point in time, i.e. the other day. I can defend myself because you're coming at me with a weapon, and the second I stand up, you want to try and sneak me. It didn't work. And then she went round to, well, let me tell you what happened afterwards, because that's what I'm doing. I'm clearing up that part. I didn't attack my mother. No, my mother got in the middle of it to protect my sister because she knew that my sister was about to get her ass kicked, and rightly so. Humble you a bit. And that didn't work because you're still out here making stupid decisions. But like I said, that's not my business. So she's on the phone to the police. The police come and they're like, what happened? I said, just so you guys know, the lady on the phone that I spoke to prior has it all recorded. And I said, I'm going to tell you again, it was self-defense. She went for me, and now she's sitting there spinning a story that is just not true. I didn't just get up and attack you. That is not me. That is not who I am. I'm the type of person, I don't want no drama. I'm peaceful. I am peaceful. And you know the situation I'm going through. You know the shit that I'm going through at the minute with my health. You know. And you still want to put me through this. Why? What did I ever do to you that causes that reaction? That causes you to have such a hatred for me? What did I ever do? I have given you money. I have given you clothing. I have given you I've given you everything that I can possibly give to you. As a brother, I have gone so far out of my way for you. So far out of my way for you. And you lie to people. And you can't tell the truth. And you sit there and you give false stories, telling people that I'm a woman beater. That is not true. That is not true. Tell people about how you were stood over me with a plug in your hand and what you was doing before that situation happened. Tell them how you was provoking me. Tell them how you had 999 ready to dial and you were saying, come on, come down those effing stairs. Come on, so I can get you arrested. Tell people how you brung your ass upstairs into my room and you came all the way up to me to the point where our noses were touching. Tell people everything, is all I'm saying. Tell them exactly what happened. Because you're playing with the right one, because you are a pathological liar and I am not. I am a truthful person. I ain't got nothing that you can hold above my head other than that one piece of information you thought you had, but little did you know, I already told it. So you honestly have nothing to hold over my head. So I see what you was trying to do. You was trying to ruin me by getting me to put my hands on you. But what you failed to realise was they record the calls, the police. And not only that, eyewitnesses that were there, everybody agreed. Even the police. You sit there and say that you was going to press charges on me, and you sit there and you said that the police said to you, "Do you want to press charges against Michael?" Now hold up, yeah. This is why I'm saying this, because they came to me and they said to me, "Michael, you are the victim in this situation. We've got it on the recording." The lady told us, because the lady had made a call prior and said, "You need to come to this address as soon as you can, da 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 da." So that was already cleared up. It was already clear that I was the victim in the situation and that it was self-defense. It was already crystal clear. So you keep saying that you had the opportunity to get me charged. How does that work when you provoked an entire attack? How does that work? You provoked an entire attack and you fail to realize that there is so much, like, this. She's dumb. She doesn't realize that there's so much proof that proves her story and the story she spins to people wrong. She really, honestly, truly, and authentically does not realize that. She really doesn't. And that's why I have to make this video, because although I know she's full of shit, and all my immediate family know she's full of shit, and some people that are close to us as a family as well know she's full of shit. And one thing I'm not going to do is let nobody that sits there and provokes an entire attack, an entire situation. Excuse me. Yes, I feel bad because I shouldn't have took it that far. I shouldn't have give it to her like that. But then again, when my mother sat there and said to me, "Michael, sit down and stop it," I sat down and I stopped it. There was no more said. The only time it started getting heated again was when she brung her ass upstairs and into my room with the plug in her hand. You feel me? So I am not a woman beater. Definitely not. If you start shit, then I'll finish it. There has never been an entire... Listen, I'm not proud of it, and it's not to brag, and I don't promote violence to anybody, but I have been in a few scraps in my time, okay? And I have always reacted when provoked. I have never just gone up to somebody and gone, or stood up to somebody with a weapon in my hand and, I've never done none of that. If you start something with me, put your hands on me first. I'll always get that. I'm not proud of it and I don't promote violence, but that's the kind of bitch I am. If you want to run it, we can run it. But let's just do it fair and square. And if it makes you feel better and it makes you feel big and ballsy, I'll let you have the first hit. You know what I mean? But I have never in my life touched somebody first in a situation that's turned physical. And like I said, I ain't perfect. I ain't no angel in this situation either. Don't get that twisted. But like I said, I did, when I was told to sit down and shut up, I did. And then she came into my room with a weapon in her hand. How the fuck do you think I'm going to respond to that? The same way anybody else would. Unless you're an idiot and you would sit there and let her bash you in the head. No, thank you. I didn't fancy a trip to the fucking hospital with serious head injuries when we're in the middle of a fucking pandemic. No, thank you. I didn't want to take that spot from somebody that needed it. There's a pandemic going on. You know what I mean? But I know for certain, if she'd have hit me in the head, I would have had to go and get checked out. It was either that, or I take the bitch down. And I manhandle her a little bit, and that's what I did. But rightly so. And there's not a single person that knows about the situation that said, Michael, you was wrong for doing that. Do you know what they've all said? They all said it was self-defense, and I would have done the same if I was in the same predicament as you, Michael. Even the police, 6 of them that turned up, all said we would have done the same in that exact situation. So please tell me how you have the opportunity to press charges against me when you were the one that provoked an entire attack. Please do tell me that. And for the record, I'm not a woman beater. I never attacked my mother. I never did. Because that's the narrative she tried to run with at first, and she got called out on it so fast. I didn't. She tried telling people I attacked her, and then I got up and I attacked my mother for no reason. If you know me personally and you believe I would do that, then go fuck yourself, because I would never do that. I am a loving person, I'm a gentle person, chill, zen, monotone. I would not just get up and put my hands on somebody for no reason. That is not me. I am not a fighter. Don't put me, I am only the way I am in the sense of I'm feisty because of what I've been through. And of course, you guys don't know about that because I don't put my trauma out there. But if you knew what I'm not using it as an excuse. I'm just saying so you can feel my personality a little bit more. The stuff I've been through has put me in a predicament where 24/7, 365 for the past 6 years. I have been on defense mode, ready to go mode. Ain't no bitch in this world sneaking me. I'm just put that out there because of what I've been through. And yeah, people are probably right when they say I've got undiagnosed PTSD, but listen, I'm just saying this. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to make this video. And you know I didn't. And I'm not emotional on camera because I'm a strong motherfucker, but this situation really upsets me. And I feel like, from brother to sister, I feel like you've ruined our relationship. You really have. You have ruined our relationship. I cannot and will not be around you and will not entertain you and will not give you an opportunity to talk to me. And I think you know that. I think you know that our ship has sailed. I'm sorry, but we are beloved, and I get that brothers and sisters argue. I totally 100,000% get that. But it's totally different when you come at me with a plug in your hand. And that's all I'm saying. And just because I'm not sitting here crying, emotional, and and playing the victim doesn't mean that I'm not the victim. I am the victim in this situation, but I could have handled myself better, and I can admit that. Totally. I didn't have to do that, but I didn't know what the fuck else to do when someone stood in front of me with a weapon. I felt threatened. What about me and my safety? And then you spin the story to people like she literally told people I attacked her and my mother for no reason. Now, anybody that's known me my whole life or known me for a few years, you all already know. I don't even have to defend myself. You know, I'm not like that. But don't fuck with me like that. Because one thing I'm not going to do is allow you, a pathological liar, to sit there and twist this situation in your favour. I won't do it. Let's put the truth out there. That's why I said I didn't want to make this video, because watch the video back. I've admitted to everything I did in that. I could have walked away. I could have stopped shouting. But when I got told to sit down and pack it in and behave, I did. And I did it for my mother's sake, because my mother asked me to. And my mother was talking to me, calming me down, when my sister decided she wanted to walk upstairs with the plug in her hand. Do you see how you escalate situations? You didn't have to do that. You knew exactly what was going to happen when you did that. You knew that I was going to freak the fuck out, and you knew that I was going to feel the need to defend myself. You knew that. And you still chose, you know the struggles I've had. with my mental health. And you know the stuff I've been going through with my mental health. You know the shit I've been going through with my health. And you still want to put me through this shit and try and press charges on me. This is the second time you've tried pressing charges on me for a situation that, again, you've provoked. That's why you can't, I don't even believe that you was given the opportunity to press charges against me. Because if I was the person that was responsible, why was it you that got arrested? Why was it you that spent the night in jail? Because I didn't. I went to a friend of mine. I went to my, like I said, I call him my man who's not my man, but one day will be my man. I went to his house because he's down for me. He supports me, you know what I mean? Like a real man, you know what I mean? And he supported me and he was there. And I explained the situation to him. And once again, everybody agreed it was self-defense. And everybody agreed you shouldn't have done that at all. Don't bark at people if you can't bite. Okay? And don't come at people with weapons in your hand. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a 10-foot long machete or it's an ambi-pure plug. A weapon is a weapon. It doesn't matter. It's unfair to me. I was sat down the entire time, even when you was this close to me and I was looking up at you and I could smell your nasty ass breath in my face and you had your long ET finger all up in my face. You know what I mean? You did that. And that's why I'm making this video, because whatever story she gives you guys is bullshit. And the only reason why I am so, like, not happy, but I'm relieved that I got her to confess. I am relieved I got that on video, because if she takes this any further and she starts spinning this story and she starts telling you guys false information, I'll publish it. I will publish it. It is a 7-minute long video. And you didn't realise I was recording until the last 2 minutes of the video. You forget that you made a full confession and I have that recorded. And nobody forced you to do that. You did that yourself. Because you were the person that was the instigator. You was the aggressor. You was the person that decided to do what you did. And you can't 30 seconds later be crying your eyes out, covered in your own piss, literally, threatening to phone the police. 30 seconds before that, you was Tommy Tenman. You was Rocky Balboa all up in my face, thinking you wasn't going to get no kind of reaction. Well, you thought wrong, and rightly so. And that's all I've got to say. Please do not spin the truth, because I have so much evidence that proves what you're saying wrong. I want to shake you and wake you up, because you're going down a path that concerns me. And I'm not an emotional person, but I do feel myself getting emotional. Like, you're my sister. I tried. I really have. I've been trying for years. I can't do it no more. I can't, because you're not benefiting me. You're not helping me. I'm always helping you. And every time I think we're getting along, you fuck me over. You've done stole money from me. You've done stole clothes from me. You've done stole tobacco from me. You've done stole, literally, you've gone in my room and helped me sell to perfume, medications, stuff I've had lying around. You've stole from right under my nose. There was one situation, I know it seems petty, but it's still, I'm just going to give one more example before I go, because I'm fed up with this shit. I've given my side, I've proven my innocence, and I didn't want to do this video. But what you don't realise is she took one day from me, stole one day, it was some tobacco. It sounds so petty, but I just want to put it out there. Basically, my mother and my stepdad were staying at my stepdad's house for the weekend, so it's just me and my sister here, and I was nice with her. We got a smoke. I put her on the smoke. I literally spent money on this girl, literally, to make sure she had a good weekend. I sat down and was as nice as I could be with her, genuinely, because I was enjoying her company. We was watching films, we was having a laugh and a chill, and I made sure she was good. Everything she needed, I was brewing up for her. I made sure she was okay. I was like, if you want anything to eat, just let me know. You know, if you need a fresh coffee, let me know. Whatever you need, just let me know. You know, like a brother does. And the second I went to the toilet, she snuck into my, because I was staying in my mum's room at the time, because I don't trust my sister, I'm just going to be honest, and none of our immediate family do. So we lock everything away from her, our valuables at least, our very, very valuables at least away. So my mother has a lock on her door, and I wanted to stay in my mother's door, and I put all my valuables from my room into my bag, and I stay in my mum's room when she goes to the retreat. Um, it's basically my stepdad's house, but we call it the retreat because my mum goes there for a break. Um, and I went to the toilet, and I came back, and I have a little like tub that I keep my tobacco in, and I basically left it scattered. The tobacco was scattered in the tub, and I had like 3, 4 rollies there, and I came back from the toilet like 10 minutes later. It would all been cleaned up and pushed into a little corner, and there was a tiny, tiny bit left. And she waited until I went to the toilet and snuck into my mother's room and helped herself to my tobacco, the last of the tobacco I had, by the way. She left me with one crappy rollie. I know it seems petty, but it's just an example. And she never told me. And I'm thinking she walked out the house because she was going to walk down to my stepdad's house, which is like a 20, 30 minute walk. And she didn't say a word. She was downstairs. And then all of a sudden, all I heard was, right, I'm going now. And she was like, oh shit, excuse me. She said, I'm locking the door. Is there anything you need? Do you need to go to the shop or anywhere? I said, no. I said, but what you can start by doing is giving me back the tobacco that you've just pinched from me. And you know what she did? She shut the door and walked off. And I didn't get my tobacco back. Not only that, I could write you guys, like from the top of my head, I could give you a list of stuff that this girl's stolen from me, that she's ruined. This girl owes me near enough, when you add it all up, this girl owes me near enough just over 100 quid. But if we want to be fair, let's call it 100 quid, if we're being fair, because she's ruined that much of my stuff and thinks I don't know. But when you add it all up, it comes to a little bit over 100 quid. But because I'm a fair bitch, I'm gonna take the over 100 and keep it at 100. She owes me £100 for the stuff she's ruined. And then I'm sat there like a dickhead, giving her smokes, making sure she's good, making brews for her, cleaning up after her. I'm not about to say any more than that because I could go on a tangent about how much I've done for you as a brother. And it breaks my heart that this is what you would resort to. You would try and ruin me. Literally, because you started an entire situation that you didn't need to. You wouldn't leave me alone until you got that reaction. And you can sit there and say, I was only trying to bash the phone out your hands. You hit me when I stood up. You hit me when I stood up. And I hit you back. And when I hit you back, see, because when she hit me, it was nothing. She hit me, and I was just like, okay, cool. Even though I have a black eye, like I said, I've had a lifetime worth of physical abuse. From me being very small, I've had a lifetime of physical abuse. So me taking a punch is nothing. So she punched me, and I punched her back. It's not my fault that when she punched me, nothing happened, but when I punched her, she ended up on the floor. You know what I mean? And I warned you, and you still thought you was slick by making that movement to try and bash me in the head. But I will keep stressing this because it is the truth. I had the phone here. I was on the phone, and you're telling me your aim is to quote unquote bash the phone out of my hand with the plug. My phone is here. Where the fuck? Like, if you've got common sense or a brain, you would think she's going to strike him in the head. I can't stress this enough. I'm not about to sit there and let that shit happen. And you keep lying to people, and I don't understand why. You provoke entire situations, and she has chosen to leave. She said she's gonna take herself to the council and present herself as homeless. But what she was going to do originally was she was going to suck up to the people that she talks shit about, her friends. She forgets her ex-friends. My sister's done spoke about her ex-friends' children, about their personal lives. She's put out false rumours. She's fed into false rumours. She's done some really low down and dirty, like rotten to the core stuff to people that are her own friends, that are your own friends. Because I'm talking to you because I know you're watching this. And you've done some really fucked up and horrible, horrible shit to me, and I have kept my mouth shut about it this whole time. But you have done some nasty, nasty things to me. And yesterday was my birthday,